Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and I'm out and about again. I'm deep in the woods today, enjoying this beautiful day, these beautiful surroundings. And while I'm in the woods, I thought it'd be a cool idea to do another video. So for this video, and whilst I'm in the woods, I'm going to go through the Blair Witch movies, and I'm going to put them in order of the one I enjoyed the least up to the one that I enjoyed the most. So I enjoy all of these movies, they've all got something about them, but I've got to start with one of them. So at number 3, I'm going to go for Blair Witch, which was okay. This is a found footage film. I just thought this was very average. It was a pretty kind of just standard example of found footage. Didn't do anything all that scary. It had its moments, but I've seen a lot more intense and a lot more kind of enjoyable found footage movies than this one. And I think because it was standard, I was kind of hoping that they do a bit more with it and remind us just how terrifying the woods were and how scary that Blair Witch myth was. But this was kind of very run-of-the-mill and just kind of didn't really, I didn't feel it sort of pushed the boundaries or anything like that. Very standard found footage film. It was good, I liked it. I could put it on now and be adequately entertained by it, but I just didn't think it quite did as much as it could have done or should have done, considering it was like a Blair Witch movie. But yeah, decent enough movie nonetheless. At number 2, I'm going to go for Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Which is a strange and interesting movie. Strange and interesting because they kind of just had a massive hit with the Blair Witch Project and sort of revolutionised found footage and things like that. And this came out quite soon after and kind of dropped all that and was just a completely cinematic movie. And you can kind of look at that in two ways. You can kind of think that was sort of brave filmmaking to move away from the mould that was so successful, or you can kind of think what the hell were they thinking, moving away from the mould that was so successful. But this movie, I only watched this kind of not recently, but in the scheme of things quite recently, a couple of years ago. I really liked it for its kind of late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia. I really like that time period. Other than that, it doesn't have a lot of merit. I like the characters and I like how they linked it back to the original Blair Witch Project. I think they were looking for the footage or something like that. But it's not the strongest film. And I think if I'd have watched this straight after Blair Witch Project, I wouldn't have liked it. I'd have found it quite a jarring viewing experience. So I can understand the hate that this generates a little bit, but I like it for what it is. I like the nostalgia aspect of this one. So number 2, I'm going to go for Book of Shadows. And at number 1, of course, is the Blair Witch Project, which I still find to be a really creepy film. I mean, this really creeped me out when I watched it. I genuinely thought it was terrifying. It really unnerved me. And now when I watch it, I think it's still really effective. And it's a great way to show what you can do with kind of very little. It's a really good example of that. And this sort of like revolutionised the found footage genre, kind of put it on the map. And compared to a lot of the found footage films that I've seen now, it's not as kind of action-packed, it's not as in your face. But again, I quite like this for the restraint and the things that you don't see and things like that. And, you know, sometimes you forget kind of how sort of found footage wasn't a thing until this one came along and really found success with it. So I really respect the Blair Witch Project for what it is and what they did and how they utilised certain things. It's not a perfect film, but still really effective and still one that really creeps me out anyway. So number 1 is the Blair Witch Project. So let me know what you think of that, guys. Did you agree with that countdown? If not, let me know what order you would have put those movies in. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for more videos.